Lecture of our chapter called functions. As in the previous chapter, I told you that functions are nothing but a separate part of the code. If a piece of code is performing some work and that piece is supposed to be used multiple times, or the piece is large enough to understand, then the particular code or the particular piece of code, we put it aside and give a name called function name. So you may have seen in my assignments I used some functions. Let's say my func, and there I say print, let's say my name, return, then for I in range 5. I call this function. This function will be called 5 times, and 5 times this print statement will be executed. So the same thing is repeatedly used, same things we are doing it again and again, and we are using function. This return, this one, is the indicator that now the body of function work is completed and it has to move back the processing from where it has been asked for. यहाँ पर बोला गया है, here it is asked to do some processing. So after doing this, I need to come back the same piece. A function may do anything. It is just a work, a piece of action which is happening there. Now in function, as I told earlier also, that we can pass parameters. Let's take an example. Def of interest P comma R comma T, that principal amount, rate of interest and time. Simple interest is equal to P into R into T divided by 100 and return SI. Here principal is equal to float, input, enter principal amount. Then the same line I am repeating 2 more times for 2 other values. This was principal, this is rate, and this is time. Rate of interest, time period. And now I want to calculate this thing. So I put up simple interest equal to the function name. This is a function call, and here I pass up the 3 values. And print simple interest. Okay. So what is happening here is I'm calling this function. This function is defined here. This is called function header. This is the keyword which talks about that this is a function. These are the arguments. These are the parameters. Parameters and arguments are invariably almost same thing, you can say. This is the return statement which is indicating the function work is over, and after doing the work with this value I need to go back to this place. So the value which is SI returned here will be assigned to this variable, and hence we'll get the result. This is what the function we have. This is what we had studied earlier also. Now coming to this, how the functions parameters are having of different types. So there are three types of parameters. One is your fixed parameters, which are just their positional. So positional means I have principal here, I have principal here, I have rate here, I have rate here. Name may be different. Time is here, time is here. So these are just passing the in the same sequence. And if the function header has three values, I have to pass the three values only. And the values will be copied in the sequential manner. So that will be the simple interest. So that is the simple interest calculation, but we are not discussing the simple interest calculation. We are talking about the type of parameters we have in the function call. So in this case, when we have fixed number of parameters and we need to pass all those parameters values and in the same sequence, those are called required or positional arguments. Now, in the positional arguments, I can't change the order and I can't change the number of parameter passed. This is the requirement thing. In some scenarios, I may need to get some values as fixed. For example, I know that my time period is always 5 years. So I can have the things time as a parameter passed to the function or may not. How? Let me show you. First, I pass up this thing. So whatever user has passed as a time period here, whatever value of time is given here will be sent to this interest function as an argument, and this t will have that value. Let me show you how it will work. I say principal amount is 10,000, rate of interest is let's say 6%, and time period is 10 years. See, in first case it is giving me 3.6. In second case it is giving me 1.8. The result is coming wrong, might be because I need to just use this thing P. So that's the reason. Let me run it again. So principal amount is 10,000, rate of interest is 6%, and time period is 10. Now in first case the simple interest coming 6,000, in second case the simple interest is coming 3,000, because in the first case I passed time period as 10. Here, see, it is 10 here. But in the second case I did not pass the time. So it has used this value 5 for the variable t. So now that time is 5 years. This type, when we define values of parameter in the function header, is called default arguments or default parameters. Those default arguments and parameters, they use the value of variable or parameters if it is not being passed explicitly in the function call. In this case, the function call will use the other values and rest will not be used. That will be passed as the default value. In this case, the another important point which is required to understand is this default value has to be given from the right hand side. Means I can't have something like this and then I do not have given this. This is not allowed. So I have to give the values, default values from the right hand side. So if I'm giving a default value to any parameter, I need to make sure all the parameter right of that must have a default value. I can have this thing. That's absolutely perfectly fine. Passing the two parameters as a default arguments. That's absolutely okay. Now coming to the third one, which is keyword or named argument. If I don't want to follow the order, or if I don't want to confine, then Python is giving me this possibility. How? I can have time prior to rate. That is possible. Now, how it will be possible? If I do this thing as it is, the value of time will be assigned to R and the value of rate will be assigned to T. To avoid this thing, I can have something like this. Now, if I run this program, if I say 10,000, then 6, and then 10, see, the answer is right. Because now I have to give in this thing. Now the point is, do I need to give the same named parameter, named value of the argument for the another also? Not necessary. If the position is correct, if the position is as it should be, I may not require it. I may give or may not give. Both are okay. But if its position is changing, I need to specify. And the second thing is, if it is capital R, it must be capital A here as well. If it is capital T here, the capital T should be there. The name should match exactly. So this is the three types of arguments, types of parameters provided by the Python. Now coming to the mutable and immutable properties of. Let's say I use a function func1 and here I use value a. Then I say print before a. A is equal to a multiplied by 5. Then I say print after a return num is equal to 10, and then I say func1 num and say print after function call. What I want to say is, before function call the value of num is 10, and I want to check in the function which I called up, the 10 value is passed as a, so that will show here as 10, and then 10 into 5 50, 50 will be shown here. What should be the value of num? Should it be 50 or should it remain 10? It will remain 10. Let's see this. Because whatever changes are happening in the function are not getting reflected. It's not because the function behaves like this. It's because the value I passed here 10 is an integer which is immutable. Now instead of immutable, I put up value of num variable as say, let's say list, which is mutable. Now I say a1 is equal to 50. So I pass up two values in the form of list 10, 20. Before it will print 10, 20, and after it will put 10, 50. Will it get reflected here also? Yes, it will be, because this list is a mutable data type. Let's see this. You see in the function also It is showing me outside the function also. It is showing me because that's a mutable. So if we pass a mutable argument to the function, any changes done in the function will get reflected back to the main program as well. If we pass immutable data to a function call, the changes done in the function will not get reflected back to the program. That's it in this lecture. Now we'll go for scope of the variable, which is a very important topic, especially from the board perspective, board examination perspective. Till then, beta, thank you so much. Do your hard work, study hard. God bless you all.